Buongiorno, welcome back to our sessions. And first of all, thank you very much for subscribing. We do have new subscribers. I am very grateful. And please do continue to like, subscribe, and share the videos. You may have noticed a little movement. We've got the little creature there resting as usual. And today we're going to talk about something that can cause confusion. I have noticed, again, as I said before, I base most of my videos on things that I notice about the mistakes or difficulties that my students have. So this one is about, let's call them doubles. It's definitely not a grammar terminology. Doubles because they are words that are very similar, but one is masculine, the other one is feminine. And it is interesting, or I find it interesting, that somebody learns a word and is very confident with this knowledge, but suddenly they find themselves confusing this word that they know very well with a new one that they suddenly meet, and they assume that it is the same word, but we are talking about a different gender from the grammar point of view. Let's see some examples that I have. Let me find them in the documents. I've prepared a few. So let me share this document. So these are some, where are they gone? Ah, yes. Just a few cases that I've written here. Interestingly, the first word does mean case. So have a look here. I've only written the words, I'm talking about nouns, first of all, which are masculine or feminine. Remember, everything is either masculine or feminine in Italian. So if you look at this list of words that I've written, we have on the left, we have the masculine. On the right, we have the feminine. As I said, these are nouns, and I've written only the word without the article. They would go with them. So look at this, caso, casa. Normally, most people learn the word casa, which is house or home. And only later on, they would come across the word caso, which is a case. For example, an interesting case or just in case. The second one, basilico, which is basil, what is it called? Not the spices, the herbs. And one of the herbs that are used for cooking. And basilica, which is a kind of church or cathedral, however you need to translate it in. Porto is the port, harbor. Porta is a door. Pianto as a noun is the cry of a person, a child, a person. Pianta is a plant. Tappo is a lid or a cork for a bottle. Tappa is the stop in a race, for example, or a long journey. Visto is a visa that you need for traveling. Vista is a view. This one I've only written the masculine because unfortunately this one I've written it because it has happened more than once. Somebody talking about tetto, which is a roof, but making it suddenly feminine, and I'll leave it to you to go and find the meaning for it. But so sometimes if you confuse the words, you just end up with the wrong translation, the wrong objects, let's say. However, some other times, you end up saying something quite embarrassing, really. So do be careful, please. So I'll leave this one, the last one, for last. How do we recognize one from the other? First of all, you just need to be careful. Don't make assumptions. Just because they are similar, they look similar, it doesn't mean they are the same. We have the same thing in every language, that we have similar words, but they're not the same. However, so apart from that, apart from being careful, aware of this fact, and not making assumptions, the other one, especially if you're translating and the sentence doesn't make sense, you may have made this type of mistake when translating. Something that you need to, something that you can do in order to avoid this confusion, and especially if you realize that the sentence doesn't make sense. So go back to the word that sounds a bit strange and look around it. For example, as I said, I've only written the words by themselves, but in a sentence, these words would be surrounded or accompanied by an article, an adjective. They would help you recognize these words and realize that they are masculine, not feminine, or the other way around. So caso, we said, is masculine. So in front of caso, you'd have, let me just use the capital letters. In front of caso, you'd have a masculine article, either un, which is the indefinite article, a case, or il caso, the case. Say, for a house or a home, you'd have either una casa or la casa. So get used to observe what you have around the words. I'm only going to do this for the first example. I'm not going to do exactly the same for all the other words. So recapping. Do not, first of all, be careful, be aware, pay attention to what you have, to the sentence and the words you have in front of you. Don't make assumptions. If you're translating something and doesn't make sense, go back and observe what is around the word that is giving you problems. And you will find will find out that maybe you were not paying enough attention. The last example that I've written is not exactly the same. I've added this example here just because it has come up recently with some students, and in fact it's something that that gives problems to more than one students that I've noticed. So I'll explain a little bit more the difference between these two, because it's less straightforward than the rest, the previous ones. Il muro, which is masculine, when we're talking about the wall of a house. So on the wall is for when you build a house, we've got the walls of a house. On the wall, you can hang a picture, for example, or you can put a chair against the wall. We're talking about muro, il muro masculine. However, le mura is when we're talking about the walls around a city, we're talking about obviously when many years ago, the towns, the cities were surrounded by walls to protect village, town, city. So this one, as I said, is similar, but not exactly the same as all these other words at the top here. So yes, be more aware when you're reading, don't make assumptions. And look around the words. What do you have? Do you have an adjective? Do you have an article? They will help you recognize them. Another thing, in fact, I'm going back to sharing. Another thing that I'm going to add is, for example, we have a couple of words here. They would be written exactly as you see them here. So exactly like the noun. However, they would be a verb. Let me write. No, I cannot write anything at all in here. Porto, it is the noun meaning port or harbor. However, it is also a conjugated verb. The verb portare, to bring, to take something somewhere. The conjugation of the first person singular, I take, I bring, would be porto. Same here. Pianto is also the conjugation first person singular of piantare, to plant. Again, how do you see the difference? Look around. Look at which words you have around these words in particular. And again, what about the meaning? If it doesn't make sense, go back, observe carefully these words, and you will realize that unfortunately, probably you have not paid enough attention or you have made assumptions. Anyway, hopefully this will be useful, and thank you again for subscribing. Thank you for liking my videos. So keep liking, subscribing, and sharing them. And do leave comments and with questions if there is anything you'd like to know more of. I will go now, and I will see you next time. Arrivederci. Bye.